So guys, in today's session, we are going to discuss about client scripts. Okay. Okay. Fine. So guys, if you remember, we discussed about client and server. So client means farm, and server means database. Okay. UI policies comes under client side, and client scripts comes under client side. Okay. Client side UI actions comes under client side, whereas UI pages comes under client side, UI macros comes under client side. So here in today's session, we are discussing about client scripts. Client scripts are piece of JavaScript. Client scripts are piece of JavaScript that is executed on the form. Okay. Client script are piece of JavaScript that is executed on the form. Okay. That is executed on the form. Okay. Well, guys, there are actually four types of client scripts: unload client script, unchange client script, unsubmit client script, unsell edit client script. Okay. So client scripts are piece of JavaScript that is executed on the form. We have onload client script, unchange client script, unsubmit client script, and unsell edit client script. Okay. So onload client script, we already used that one. So onload client script will be executed every time when the form gets loaded. Okay. Will be executed every time when form gets loaded. So will be unchanged client script will be executed every time when field value change. Okay. Every time you change the field value, unchanged client script will run. On submit client script will be executed every time when you submit the form. So every time when you try to submit the form, on submit client script will run. Unserved client script will be executed when you change the field value when you change the field value from list. Okay, when you change the field value. Okay, so guys, remember this point. There are actually four types of client scripts. Unload client script will be executed every time when the form gets loaded. Unchange client script will be executed. Unchange client script will be executed every time when the field value change. On submit client script will be executed every time when you submit the form. Unthreaded client script will be executed when you change the field value from the list. Okay. When you change the field value from list, okay, the unthreaded client script will run. Well, guys, these three client scripts will work from the form. Okay, this will work from the list. This will not work from the form. So this is actually, this will work from the form. This will work from the form. This on submit client script also work from the form. This on selected client script will not work from the form. It will work only from the list. Okay. So remember this point, guys. On selected client script will not work from the form. It will work only from the list. Okay. Fine. So we will see when exactly the onload client script will run. Okay. So I'm going to the finance case form. Right click, configure, go to client scripts here. So in the client scripts, okay. So in the client scripts, I'm going to delete these two. So I'm actually creating a new client script here. You can see type. There are actually 4 types of client scripts: onload, on change, on submit, and on select. So these three, onload, on change, on submit, these three will work on the form. These three will work on the form. This will work on the list. This will work on the list, guys. Okay. So I am writing an onload client script. Okay. So here I am creating an onload client script. I'm writing an alert here. Okay. On load client script. Okay, this onload client script will run, will be executed every time when the form get loaded. So I'm just refreshing the form now. Every time when I refresh the form, the onload client script will run. It is showing I am onload client script. Okay. So if you see here, every time when the form gets loaded, the onload client script is running. I'm just refreshing this one. So you can see I have created a onload client script. This will run every time when the form gets loaded. Okay. I'm going to deactivate this one. Okay. So now we understand that when exactly the onload client script will run. Okay. So now we'll discuss about on change client script. Okay. On change client script. Okay. So whenever you change the value, let us say whenever you change the category value. So I'm just changing the value to software to hardware, hardware to inquiry, inquiry to database, database to network. I'm changing the value here. I'm changing the value here. So every time when you change the value, every time when you change the value, the on change client script will run. Okay. So here I am going to create a on change client script now. So every time when you change the value on a particular field, the on change client script will run. Okay. So on change client script on category field. So remember, whenever you select on change here, a field will appear here, field name. On which particular field value change the on change client script will run and all you have to specify here. On category field, if you change the value, the on change client script will run. If you select color here, on color field, if you change the value, the on change client script will run. Remember this point. So whichever the field that you specify here. So on the category field, if you change the value, the on change client script will run. So I am writing on change client script on the category field. So you have to particularly mention on which particular field you are changing the value. So remember this point. You have to particularly mention here on which particular field you have to change the value. So on the category field, you have to change the value. In the on change client script, in the on change client script, you have some parameters available. Control, old value, new value, ease loading, ease template. So there are actually 5 parameters available here. So we have to understand about these parameters. Okay. I am going to write alert here. Control, old value, new value, ease loading, ease template. You can see control, old value, new value, ease loading, ease template. So you have total 5 parameters available here, guys. Okay. You have total 5 parameters available. Control means here on which field we are writing on change client script category. So category field control it will take. Control means HTML object. Go to inspect here. Okay, this category field control it will take. So you will actually get this category field control. Okay. So let me just show you. It is basically the field for which client script is written. So it is basically the field for which this client script is written, category field. So we have written client script for category field and it will give HTML object for that field so that you can change or use it as per your need. Example, restricting the field length. Okay. So it is clearly mentioned here. Okay. So on change client script run particular field value changes on the form. So on change runs when the particular field value changes on the form. So The on-change client script must specify these parameters. Control means the HTML widget whose value changed. So that means here in this case, we are changing the category value. We are changing the category value. So in this category field, so this category HTML object, as I mentioned here, this category HTML object, you will get it. Okay. This category HTML object, you will get it using control parameter. Okay. Whose value changed. So category value you are changing, right? This category HTML object, you will get it. Okay. So we'll see. Let me just save this one. So I'm going to refresh the form now. Okay. So this will run whenever you change the value on a particular field, right? So whenever I refresh the form, onload client script will run. Whenever I change the value, the on-change client script will run. You can see object HTML select element. So here this category HTML object, you are getting it here. Okay. This category HTML object, you are getting it here. What I do is I'll just change it to, you can see this category HTML object I am getting here. You can see here. Okay. This category HTML object I am getting here. Okay. So what we can do is we can take this particular. So here what you can do is you can use JSON.stringify control you can here. Okay, JSON.stringify control. Okay. JSON.stringify control you can take. So let me just refresh this one. Whenever I change the value here, you can see this is actually giving this category HTML object is it is giving. It is giving category HTML object it is giving. Okay. Category HTML object it is giving. Fine. Control means, as I mentioned already, control means the HTML widget whose value changed. Whose value changed. Here it is clearly mentioned here. Basically, it's basically the field for which the client script is written. So we have written the client script for category field. We have written the client script for category field. It will give HTML object for that field, so that you can change or use it as per your need. For example, restricting field length. For example, restricting field length. Okay. So here you will get the HTML object of the category field here. If you write a color, if you write on change client script on the color field, you will get the HTML object of the color field. I'm selecting color here. I am changing the value on the color field. You can see here changed is equal to true and template value is equal to false. This is the HTML object that we are getting here. Okay. Changed is equal to true and template value is equal to false. This is the HTML object that I am getting here. Okay. Fine. And we understand what is control. Okay. And we have old value here, new value here. You can see old value, new value. So guys, here old value means, let me tell you here, let me just save this one. Okay. So here we wrote on-change client script on which field, color field or category field. Still it is color field. So I'm just changing the color value here. By is actually now, by will become the old value if I select system administrator. System administrator is the new value. System administrator is the new value. Y is the old value. Please remember, system administrator is the new value. Abhay is the old value. So let me just save this one. Okay, I changed it to Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln is the new value. System administrator is the old value. Abraham Lincoln is the new value. System administrator is the old value. Let me just save this one. I am changing it to able tutor here. Able tutor is actually the old value. Able tutor will be the new value. And Abraham Lincoln will be the old value. I am changing it to Aline Morton here. Alisa. Alisa is the new value. Lisa is the new value. Okay. Lisa is the new value. Able tutor is the old value here. Okay. So guys, scholar is a reference field, right? That is why you will get system ID. So now I am changing it to Abraham Lincoln again here. Now Abraham Lincoln is the new value. Lisa will be the old value. You can see here, here it is old value. It is actually Alisa system ID. This is actually Abraham Lincoln system ID. Abraham Lincoln is the new value, right? So here color is a reference field. For reference fields, you will get system IDs. For reference fields, you will get system IDs. Okay. You guys are clear? Everyone. Okay. Fine. So now you understand, right? What is old value? What is new value? Do you understand or not? What is old value? What is new value? Okay. And you have two other parameters. Is loading, is template. Is loading, is template. Okay. So ease loading means, guys, ease loading means whenever the form gets loaded, whenever the form gets loaded, ease loading will be true. If the form is not loading, if the form is not loading, so ease loading will be false. Now you tell me, guys, I am just changing the value. I am changing the value. The form loaded, guys. Did the form load now? The form is not loaded now. Okay. If the form is not loaded, if the form is not loaded, it will give you Boolean value false. You can see here. So ease loading, I have taken third alert. So ease loading, I have taken third alert. So now you can see I'm just changing the value. Now the form is not loading, right? And it will say false here. Now the form is not loading. Then it is selling false here. If the form is loading, it will say true here. Okay. It will say true here. So ease loading will check if the form is loading or not. If the form is loading, it will say true. If the form is not loading, it will say false. So here, as the form is not loading, it is giving false here. Now the form is not loading, it will give output as false. You can see the output here is false. Okay. So guys, here we are entering the values here manually. So I am a human, right? So I am entering these field values here. I am entering these field values here. So without human interaction, okay, we can fill the field values from a template. Okay, let me do one thing. Let me do one thing. I am going to create a template, guys. You can click on these three dots, more options, toggle template bar. You can see this is a template bar. Template bar. I am creating a new template here. Okay. So color value, I want to populate as able tutor, impact as high, short description value, description value. Okay. I have created a template, guys. Okay. The template number 6. Template 6 is actually the one. You can name it. Populate case value. I'm creating a template called populate case values. Submit this one. Okay. So now, guys, you can see I am populating this color value from the template. So now the color value is Alisa, right? Now I am populating this color value from this particular template. I am clicking on this one. You can see the unchanged client script has run. His template is true here. His template is true. You can see the value is changed to Abraham Lincoln. So did I change the color value manually? Did I change the color value manually, guys? This value is changed from the template. You can see populate case values template applied with one conflict. So I populated this caller value from the template. If the value is populated from the template, I'm just refreshing this one. If the value is populated from the template, we say true here. This template is true if a value is populated from a template. You can see here, is template means if the value is populated from the template, is template will be true. If a value is populated from the template, is template will be true. So let me just refresh this one. Now I am actually populating this value manually. Now I am populating this value manually. Template value false here. Okay, template value false here. So is template false. Now what I am doing is I am populating caller value from this particular template. Okay, is template true here? Is template true here? So this caller value is populated from the template. Okay. So here we understand about control parameter, old value parameter, new value parameter, is loading parameter, and is template parameter. Do you understand about these 5 parameters, guys? Everyone? Okay, fine. Okay. If you understand about these parameters here, you have to understand about the script here. If the form is loading means if the form is loading. Okay. If the selected value is empty, if the selected value is empty, don't run the script. Okay. Don't run the script is what it is telling. That means if the form is loading, it will be true. If it is true, it will not run the script. Okay. Guys, remember, unchanged client script, work on unload when you remove the condition. If you remove this condition in the unchanged client script, it will also work on the onload as well. If you remove this condition, the unchanged client script work on onload as well. Okay. I'm just saying this one. So I'm just refreshing this one. So when I refresh this one, unchanged client script work on onload as well now. You can see true here. So the unchanged client script is working on onload or not? So unchanged client script is working on onload. Okay. So whenever you change this one, whenever you change the value also unchanged client script will run. Okay. So always remember unchanged client script also work on the onload only when you remove this condition. There is a condition here. What is that condition? If is loading or new value equal to empty return. Okay. So if this condition is there, on change client script will not work on onload. If this condition is removed, the on change client script work on onload. So what this condition is doing? So if the form is loading, don't run the script is what condition is written here. If the form is loading, don't run the script. So if you remove this condition, it will work on load as well. I am on load and on change both. You can see here. So when I refresh the form, on change client script work on load. When I refresh the form, on change client script work on load. So when I change the value, it will work on change. See, this is on change client script is working on load and on change. Only when you remove the condition, on change client script work on load as well. Okay, on change client script work on load as well. Hope you guys are clear. Everyone. Okay, I'm going to deactivate this one. So guys, remember whenever the form gets loaded, the onload client script will run. Whenever the form gets loaded, the onload client script will run. Whenever you change the field value on a particular field, the on change client script will run. In the on change client script, if you remove the condition, on change client script work on load as well. Okay. Now we will understand about on submit client script. So every time when I am trying to submit this one, okay, I'm trying to submit this one. So here I am trying to submit second time, third time. So every time when you are trying to submit this form, on submit client script will run. I'm going to create a on submit client script. Okay. So every time when I try to submit this form, on submit client script will run. I am on submit client script. So I am trying to submit this one again. I am on submit client script. I am trying to submit this one. I am on submit client script. I'm trying to submit this one. What is it telling? I am on submit client script. So every time when you try to submit this form, the onSubmit client script will run. Okay. Finally, we have onSelected client script. Okay. Finally, we have onSelected client script. This onSelected client script will not work on the form. This onSelected client script will not work on the form, guys. Remember this point. It will not work on the form. It will work on the list. So let me just open the finance cases list. So only in the list it will work. Onload, on change, on submit client scripts will always work on the form. Onload, on change, on submit client scripts will always work on the form. Onthreaded client script will not work on the form. It will work on the list. From the list, whenever I change the assign to value, or from the list, whenever I change the color value, from the list, whenever I change the color value, the on submit client script will run. I am going to create a on submit client script on the I'm going to create a unselected client script on the color field from the list. Right click, configure client scripts. This will work only from the list, guys. Here you have total 5 parameters available. 5 parameters available. Alert, system IDs, table, old values, new value, the callback function. The callback function. So system IDs. So from the list, you can change multiple records color values at a time. Multiple records color values at a time from the list. So on which particular finance case you are changing the color, that particular finance case system ID you will get. System IDs means finance case system IDs on which finance case you are changing the color. System IDs means finance case records system IDs. Finance case record system IDs. On which finance case record you are changing the color value. Okay. And if you see table, on which table we are on finance case table, u underscore finance underscore case table. And you can see old values here. You can see old values here. Here you can see new value here. Old values, new value, and callback. Okay, old values, new value, and callback. Okay. So old values means you can actually change the multiple colors from the list, right? So you can get multiple old values. There will be only one new value. New value here is able tutor. New value here is able tutor. Old values, there can be multiple old values. Okay. I'm going to refresh the list here. You can see here these many record system IDs you will get on these particular finance case system IDs. You are changing the color value. So table name is u underscore finance underscore case. Old values. So Abhay Patil system admin. These are the old values. New value will be Abraham Lincoln system ID. New value is actually Abraham Lincoln system ID. And the callback function. This callback function, I'll explain you later, guys. Okay. So about this callback function, I'll explain you later. System IDs means on which particular finance case records you are changing the caller value. Table means table means okay, on which particular table you are making the changes. Old values means what are the old values before you change the value here. New value means what is the value that you changed. Callback function will be discussing later in coming sessions. Okay. So hope you are able to understand about unchanged client scripts. Sorry, client scripts overview, guys. Hmm? Everyone, you guys are able to understand. Very good, Shobhriya. Keep it up. Okay. Any questions from anyone? We can't pass other parameters, Vinay. We can use only existing parameters. Okay. And keep up your good work, guys. And I'll see you there in tomorrow session. Okay. Okay, guys, and see you there in tomorrow session. Thank you all.